Hello everyone and welcome to Amarcast. Today I'm going to do a special podcast rather than the regular news podcast because it was quite an interesting day as Google released their ad tech fee format and they kind of became transparent about how much they are taking home from $1 of advertising on Google platforms. How much Google takes and how much goes to the publisher. Now, this is a little bit of a background. I'll just give the background very quickly and share some links regarding the background. Now, it was reported that for 2018, Google made $4.7 billion in revenue, and the entire news industry in US made $5.1 billion. So, the news industry argued that they needed to have higher commissions, and they wanted to not just negotiate with Google, they wanted to negotiate with all the other ad tech partners. And I think as per the Ad Exchanger article, Rubicon and AppNexus released some of their rates, and some of these rates were negotiated down by the news publishers to a much lower point wherein news publishers started making more money. And the next reference I've taken is from an Ad Exchanger article only from last year, where the fee of the bidding platforms has been explained. I don't want to take those percentage numbers. I'll share the article because now Google has shared the exact numbers. So, speculated numbers, I kind of don't want to add. But I think Google open bidding from that particular article is a 5% fee for display and outstream. Now, why Google has released these numbers? As per Ad Exchanger, Google has released these numbers because they are facing some antitrust case in US, and the ad tech cost could be part of that. And they have referenced it to a paper which has been released by News Media Alliance, and it's a June 2019 case study, and it's quite a deep paper, and one can go through it. I'll give the link and full PDF in WhatsApp. Now, this particular paper, kind of became the reference point for the antitrust case in AdTech. So, this is one thing. Then there is another Pricewaterhouse report about the supply chain in which they have tried to see how much an advertiser spend is converted into publisher revenue. So I'll come to that report a little later after I analyze the two blogs released by Google and what are they saying about it. So the two blogs released by Google say the publishers are keeping 69% of the revenue generated and 31% of the revenue goes to Google. And a lot of people who are non-Google ad tech players have been quite overwhelmingly happy and aggressive about it, that look, Google's charging 31% and you are just you are after us for just charging 12 to 14%. So this has been the fiery conversation throughout the day, and people have been telling some of the other SSPs, and I wouldn't want to name any company, that 12 or 14% is higher, or so they say. And now they are all up in arms and saying, hey, look, Google is charging 31%. Some of the people are arguing that it's more than 31% because, there could be multiple calls made to deliver the ad or some of their technology. I don't understand the full tech part in this, but, there are a lot of calls being made, and multiple calls may mean more revenue kind of going Google's way. So, I feel if Google has transparently said 69%, one of the things they would have taken care of is that it would be 69%, at least, with an antitrust law coming. I don't think they'll, kind of report some numbers which are not correct. On an average, I think numbers will be more or less correct. So, still, I heard a lot of arguments against Google throughout the day that 31% is not possible. It is much more than 31%. Some people were even happy that, since they are charging 12 to 14 or 15%, 31 is much higher than that. So that was the reaction. Now, this is the way it kind of unfolded. But a separate PwC report, which was referenced to me in a particular call very recently, when I read the report, I'll share the screenshots of that report, and that's not particularly about Google. That is about the entire ad tech system, the DSP fee, the agency fee, and the entire ecosystem. So they are kind of putting the publisher revenue to be around 50%. The report has multiple details, and in an industry waterfall, they are pegging it at 51%. I'll share the screenshot of that particular industry waterfall. So if advertiser is spending $100, publisher is getting $51. And there are more details in that in terms of display versus video versus OMP versus PMP, and the revenue coming to the publisher could be different. You can kind of read about it. And there are a lot of unknown deltas within that particular report in terms of DSP fee, SSP fee, ad tech fee, and many other factors. So this is quite interesting, and overall Google kind of coming out with these rates has fired up the ad tech system, at least for today. I kind of feel that 31% is a little high. But I still feel that, Google kind of invested heavily into the ad tech business very early. And, as a user of DFP and some of the other products, and as an SME user of the product, I feel that, even as a corporate user, for a long time, we didn't pay for any ad serving. So, there are some positives which Google bring on the table. And there is this 31% which they have reported now, which is a little higher. And I think, since this number is reported, I think there is some intent from Google to kind of look at this number or relook at this number, or at least industry will try to bargain on this number. And how this unfolds further, we will see. So this was quite exciting throughout the day. So I thought I'll just do a blog on this. I'll share a lot of reference material, and it may be a little bit of an overkill, but quite interesting. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much, and take care.